So one of the big questions people have is how much should you feed your dog, particularly when a dog is small and you want to make sure that it's getting enough energy in order to grow. Now obviously there are many aspects to dog nutrition, not just the amount of calories that you can put into your dog. It's the balance of the diet as well. But in terms of calories alone, to answer the question how much in terms of weight dog food should I feed my dog every day, there is a method which I've been using to feed Max and Newton. This is based on the concept of what's called the resting energy requirement, or RER. This is basically the amount of energy, kilocalories, that a dog requires every day, were the temperature to be constant, it's not doing any exercise, etc., etc. It's not a puppy, right? So you think of it as a very, very minimum energy requirement for a dog. And the formula for that, for a dog between 2 kilograms and 45 kilograms, which is the majority of dogs, the resting energy requirement is 30 times the weight, which is in kilograms, plus 70. This is the number of calories a dog needs per day at an absolute minimum. Now, clearly, puppies are growing, dogs are being walked, running around, maybe they're even working dogs. So this number you need to increase, take into account the growth or the activities that the dog is doing. And so what you then do, we have a couple of multipliers to this figure. So if your dog is a puppy, and let's say the puppy is less than 4 months old, the actual energy requirement of a puppy less than 4 months old is equal to this RER multiplied by 3. For a puppy greater than 4 months old, it's the RER multiplied by 2. For an adult dog, because they're not growing, you still need to multiply the RER because they're still doing physical activity, they're not just lying down, but the multiplier isn't as big. So for a dog that's being neutered, you would multiply RER by 1.6. For a non-neutered dog, you'd do 1.8. For working dogs, you burn a lot of energy doing their jobs, or if you're exercising your dog a lot, you'd be able to multiply this by much more. So for example, huskies pulling a sled, maybe you're multiplying by 8 or 10 times. But for the majority of ordinary household pets with an ordinary amount of exercise, these are the kind of figures that I would use. So let's do an example. Let's say Max, when he was around about 3 months old, was 10 kilograms. So for a puppy like Max, he's less than 4 months old. So first we calculate his RER. Let's say he's 10 kilograms. So for Max, when he was 10 kilograms, his resting energy requirement would have been 30 times 10 plus 70, which is 370 kilocalories per day. However, he was 3 months old, right? So he was a puppy, so he falls into this bracket. That means that we need to multiply for his actual energy requirement, which I can just call AER, for example, would be 3 times this figure. So it's 3 times 370, which is 1,110 kilocalories per day. So when Max was 3 months old and 10 kilograms, we needed to feed him this amount of calories per day. So how do you then convert the calories into the actual weight of dog food? Well, on the back of all dog food, it will tell you how many calories there are per kilogram. So actually Max's food at that time, his food was 4,000 kilocalories per kilogram. Therefore, to get the number of grams of that food he needs to eat today, all you need to do is divide this figure here by this figure here and then multiply by 1,000. So this is approximately 1/4. I think it will come out around 280-ish grams. So you do 1,110 divided by 4,000, and that gives you the amount in kilograms that you feed Max. So this is about 0.28 kilograms, so 280 grams per day. And that's how much we fed Max. Now, the important thing to note is that for a puppy, they grow very fast. For most dogs, the growth curve, if this is weight on the y-axis and time on the x-axis, looks a little bit like this. And this is around about 12 months when it levels off. So you can see that the dog is growing extremely fast during this puppy period. And that's why we weigh our dogs every week and we adjust this calculation on a weekly basis. So recommendation is feed them every week. We redo this calculation and we figure out how many grams we should feed them.